voices,
laughter, fun. He's the son of a gun.
Yes, he's the son of a gun, and we must say we're at the Son of a Gun Show. We're very lucky right now because we have a New Zealand representative for ice skating, indoor ice skating. He's been skating for 15 years, exactly. He competed in the Winter Olympics for New Zealand. I tell you what, he's fast on ice, this man, and he may be fast down the slide. Let's put your hands together, please, for Mr. Tony Smith. Come on down, Tony! Hey! Hey, ho! Here he is. Welcome. Welcome. Now listen, somewhere here, stay there. Here it is. Here, I've got a little microphone for you. I'll just put that up through the arms there, and I'll switch it on there. Yeah, technology. There you are. Just look in there so it's out of your way. Listen, welcome to the Son of a Gun Show.
Thank you.
Like the gears. Now, what is this stuff? Is it?
It's lycra.
Yeah.
This is the skin suit I wore in the Olympics.
Yeah. I lycra it. I must admit, I really lycra it.
This is thingy. Tony. Now, listen here. You've been ice skating for 15 years. I just want to start, right, going back just a few years and saying, you know what, ice skating, why did you choose ice skating as a sport that to sort of, you know, to excel in, as it were?
I just used to go along to the old Centaurus rink, you know, years ago.
Yeah.
Used to sort of bike to the public sessions on Saturday morning and used to go on the beginners races wearing the old boots and things like that. And
yeah, and was it sort of I mean, because it's quite a fast sport, indoor ice.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty fast. Or I go a lot faster now than what I did back then. But,
you would.
Yep.
And of course, now the Olympics, the Winter Olympics, and now we did pretty well. I mean, the thing is about New Zealand, I mean, you know, we are a rugby-playing nation and we've got the cricket and sort of thing, but we tend to forget some of that, and I use this word loosely, lesser or well-known sports. Yep. But we did really well, didn't we? Well,
we did. We were pretty bitterly disappointed on the night because we came all that way and we got so close and we missed out on a medal by such a small margin.
0.7 of a second.
0.7 of a second.
Close. And so we actually got to the finals, didn't we?
Yep. We got to the finals actually in both events. Our individual, Mike McMillan, he got to the final in the 1,000-metre individual and finished 4th as well.
Oh, no.
And then we finished 4th in the relay final.
And you were in the relay final.
Yep.
Now, tell me, Tony, do you prefer skating uphill or downhill?
On the flats a lot
better. On the flat, yeah.
Yeah.
And you tend to go round you go around in circles, are you?
Yeah, well, it's not a circle. The track, it's an oval track and it's 111 metres round. And that's an international size track, so it's the same size track as we have here in Christchurch.
Do you always go the same way around?
Always go the same way, anti-clockwise. So
if there's a clock, you're going anti-clockwise.
Yep.
Now listen, of course, you've got the gear, my word. And down here we've got some of these.
Here, the dreaded boots.
Now, here they are, these boots. Now, these are special boots. They're not just you don't buy them at local sports shop, do you?
No, these ones are a custom mould. We get a plaster cast made of our feet.
Right.
And we send that over to a boot maker in Australia.
I guess so we look, because I'm very interested in that. You've got you can actually see that it's actually shaped. Well, obviously to your foot.
You can see the ankle, you know, especially at the back where all the bits of the ankle.
Yeah, actually looks like when you're finished, you had some windows to clean. You could probably clean a few windows. I can't believe the size of it.
Are they hard to get on?
They are when they're new. Yeah, they're hard to get on. But once they've sort of worn in, they just go straight on.
Yeah, they've been worn a few times. Yeah, no, that is a...
Once they're on your foot, they actually feel like they're part of your body. Like, it feels like the blade's actually bolted onto you.
Now, this blade, it's not just straight, is it? Because you always go... You were saying before you go round...
Yep.
Now, what's the story with the blade?
The blade's right over to the left-hand side of the boot. Because we're going anti-clockwise, we're leaning over quite a bit.
Right.
So the blade has to be over to that side of the boot so that when we are leaning around the corner, your side of your boot doesn't hit the ice. Because if that hits the ice, it'll just slide and you'll be into the wall before you know it.
You must have had quite a few crashes in your time, have you?
Yeah, I've had a few. I've had a couple of broken legs and one or two bits and pieces and a lot of bruises and bones.
Now, because we should, you know, just one little story. I think when I was a kid, when I was at intermediate school, Paula Holt's sister, you won't know her, but it's a girl I went to school with. Her sister went ice skating and she sort of cut her hand. Is it possible? Do you see many cuts in ice skating or not?
Yeah, I've seen one or two, but we wear a lot of safety gear. We have to wear shin pads, we wear knee pads, we wear cut-resistant gloves, we wear a helmet, which you had on earlier.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
And then from next year's World Championships, we'll also have to wear a net guard, cut-resistant net guard.
A net guard.
Hey, talking of next year's World Championships, whereabouts are they?
They're in Beijing in China.
Wow.
So you must
They're going to ski the Great Wall.
Yeah, for the last 12 months I've been pretty well all around the world.
He thinks he's going to ski the Great Wall.
Well, skate, I suppose.
Skate. I should say skate the guy. Well, thank you very much for coming. And you just sit back here and Thingy being the floor manager can get the old cup of coffee and thing and that sort of thing. And Thingy being the floor manager will know just what time it is for right now, Thingy.
Well, of course, it's time for Jace. Can you remember that time you went ice skating, Jace?
I thought, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I'm going to take... Listen, you probably don't lose, but looking at me right now, you probably don't know that, in fact, I have done a little bit of ice skating.
No, I suspect, I think I've actually seen you down there a couple of times.
Yeah.
But I bet you won't be at the next Winter Olympics in Norway, Jason, 1994, will you?
No, I don't. If you take a look at this, Tony, you'll probably appreciate my ice skating ability. Take a look at this.
Well, there's my boots going on from my friend Bryce. We're at the Alpine Ice Skating Rink and we're all set to go. I said, look out, Dorval, indeed, because here I come. Here comes Jason the Ace, the fella with the ice skates. Look out, a 1, a 2, a 3. Whoopsie daisy. It's not so easy to walk when you haven't done it very much. I think I might have a wee go. I'm going to go for a wee walk out in the middle. Ta-da! I'm doing whoopsie daisy. And some young thing came racing past and knocked me off my feet. And he was jumping about the place. I thought he was very good. And I thought to my Jason, now there's an idea, Jason. He could help you out. So I said, excuse me, young fella. He said, are you talking to me? I said, I am. You come here. And come here. And I said, look out. And I got an ice cream sandwich all over the place. I thought, good on you, young fella. He loves me lots. So I stood up and said, whoops, what? I thought, excuse me. How are you? He said, hello, Jason. He said, my name's Rod. And I could teach you a few things. He said, you come over here. So I did. And so I grabbed Rod, or he grabbed me. In fact, and he took me one way. And he pulled me the other way. And then he pulled me some more. And I said, I'm getting quite good at this pulling about the place. And I said, I fell over a couple of wee times and hurt the old backside, but I think I'm getting faster. And whoops, all of a sudden, Rod, you're going a wee bit too fast for old Jason. I tell you what, that ice is very cold on the bottom. Whoopsie daisy dandy. Anyone see that? No one looking. You're right, Jason. You're still cool. You're cool. No one saw that. You're cool. You're cool. Okay. Carry on there, Jason, young fella, I said. I said, whoopsie daisy dandy. That ice is very cold. And I said, I think I'm getting it. I'm getting it, but thank you, Rod. I think you should push a little bit harder, I think, young fella. I said, look, Mum, no hands. Look, Mum, no hands. Whoopsie, look, Mum, no teeth. How embarrassing. Anyone see that? Oh, okay, good night, nurse. Thanks very much. And all of a sudden, I think I've got how this ice skating goes. You don't do anything. You just sit back and let young fella Bryce pull you on the toboggan. I tell you what, I felt a bit like royalty. I really did. And he pulled me all about the ice skating rink. And I said, I needed to go to the toilet. He said, well, there's a toilet right there. Whoopsie daisy. I said, I wish you'd stopped and I could have got out by myself. And he pulled me around a whoopsie daisy. I've seen more ice than an Eskimo. I said, thanks, Bryce. Thanks, Kevin. And I said, thanks to my favourite coach, Rod. See you later, young fella. He said, see you, James. We love you. I said, not as much as I love you. See you next time, young fella. Hooroo.
Okay.